Welcome, everyone, to our April meeting, which was supposed to be nice and bright and sunny because Cher is here in the room.
She brought it in with her.
No, she didn't bring it in with her, Steve. Okay, so this is our agenda for tonight. We have a lot of announcements and news. Boy, the news on the genealogy front's just hopping. Cher will be talking about They Sure Moved Around, and then I will finish with the upcoming meetings. The Durham Region Branch acknowledges the lands and people of the Mississaugas of Scugog First Nation, the Chippewas of Georgina First Nation, and a large Métis community. We recognize the lands on which we gather are covered under the Williams Treaties and rest within the traditional territory of the Mississaugas. We honor, recognize, and respect these nations as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters on which we meet. We have good news. If you go to the OGS website into the branch and SIGs area, our Durham branch link has been redirected to our new temporary branch website, and we are making progress on updating our website. We've had 2 very productive meetings, and I'm sure there's at least 2 more to go. So in the meantime, if you go to our branch website, not through the OGS website, remember it's the timetraces.com/Durham branch/. And before we really get started, I want to launch a poll. First time I'm doing this, so bear with me. And if someone could tell me if you can see this.
Yes.
Oh, good. Good. We're getting people voting. Yay. Okay. And then the people here can tell me later. Okay. It looks like most of you are joining either through the e-weekly or the events calendar on the OGS main website. Okay. I'll give it just another 10 seconds and then we'll end the poll. Thank you, everybody. That's for me because I'm the one who has to post the publicity, and the less sites I have to post it to, the better. So here is the results. 52% of you use the e-weekly. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, moving on, which I hope will now work. There we go. So instead of my usual general volunteer appeals, we're calling.
Nancy, your poll's still up there.
Okay, just a sec. Maybe Dan has to click on this to make it go away.
Says stop sharing.
Thank you. Oh, okay. I'm at the right spot. Thank you. Instead of my usual general volunteer appeals with non-specific details, we're calling for some very specific items that really would not take very long to do. We've picked out a couple of cemeteries. These cemeteries that you see up on the screen, they need to be retyped for the OGS marketplace. The old scans that we have up there aren't the nicest, so we'd like to get them done. It should only take a few hours. And if you could do that bit of typing, that would be great. You will get to keep the scanned copy and the new copy if you wish. So if there's a cemetery there that you also would like to have for your library, please contact us to volunteer. Moving on. I think because I've clicked, it doesn't like to go. So we're going to copy a tradition of the 1980s. We're holding 2 cemetery transcribing picnics. And this is where we spend the whole day. Everybody brings a picnic lunch. And during the break, we have a great chat time with each other. And the cemeteries chosen are Hampton Union, I think it is actually called, Tuesday, June 25th. And we have a rain date of the 26th. And then towards the end of September, we've got Lakeview Cemetery in Newtonville on the radar. Contact Janice if you have any questions, but you can just show up on the day as well. We'll take anybody who will help. A note on conference. We're getting closer and closer. Here's the latest exciting news. Steve Little, who's the Artificial Intelligence Program Director for the National Genealogical Society down in the States. And he also owns his own business called AI Genealogy Insights. And Daniel Horowitz, who many of us know from My Heritage and many conferences, he's going to help give the slanted view of AI-assisted technologies that are used by the big websites. And they will be joining Blaine Bettinger and Johnny Pearl for the Artificial Intelligence and Genealogy Day on Thursday, June 13th. Here's a few highlights that they posted from the conference. 50 hours of presentations, 16 workshops, 30 speakers from Britain, Israel, US, and Canada. They have supervised research tours, hands-on workshops, social events, and a 10,000 square foot marketplace, which we will have a table at. I hope you can find us in the 10,000 square feet. And they have the special Artificial Intelligence Day. If you're not going to be there in person, but you still want to have some of the talks from the conference and some extra talks, for $125, you can get the Trex package. If you are a full weekend conference person, you'll get it for free. They're going to be released on June 14th and available to view until August the 1st. And please note, there is no on-site registration for this conference. The last day for registration is June the 1st. So after June 1st, you're out of luck. You can't show up and get in.
Is that because you get a lanyard?
No, I don't think so, Dan. Dan asked if, I think you probably heard him, but he asked because you get a lanyard. I really don't think so. I think it's just workload for managing everything. So it's awards time at Ontario Ancestors. All of these awards have a May 1st deadline. First up are the Student Essay Awards, and these ones actually have cash prizes with them. One is for high school students, and one is for university and college students. A $500 award. So let your young people know, because they don't get very many submissions. So by all means, you got a grandkid, let them know. The next one is the Citation of Recognition. And this is your opportunity to nominate someone who has been with OGS for 5 years. They're showing some leadership. They're making contributions to both the society and the branch level, and furthering the cause of genealogy in Ontario. And our last one is the Robert Crawford Community Service Award. This was put together by his family after he died. I was on the board with Bob Crawford. Excellent, wonderful, kind person. And his community service that he did was incredible. He was big in the ambulance service. He got his first aid so he could respond with them, and many other organizations in his town. So that's what his family is honoring, someone from genealogy who also has a lot of community service work under them. The OGS monthly webinar is in 2 days about autosomal DNA and Y-DNA. And it should be very interesting. I'm not going to read you about it because I want to give our speaker a good amount of time. Now, here's one. I have been approached by one other branch, and we're going to try and pitch our places as places for him to come and give his lecture on Family Tree Maker program. I've also kind of heard there might be a new version coming out. It's his tour up through Ontario is supposed to be in early May, so that's not a lot of time. And I don't really want to announce that we are going to be hosting him because it's not firmed up at all yet. Just keep your eye on the website, the Facebook group, the blog. And if we're really lucky, we'll get him there.
It was very interesting last time, a number of years ago.
Yes, it was very interesting. And here's something we've been waiting for 5 years. The Kawartha Branch annual Research Day bus trip to the Archives of Ontario, because the bus goes right through Durham region and stops for anybody here who wants to join them. You need to contact the person at that email, kawartha@ogs.on.ca. It's $60. I believe it's 30 people who can get on the bus. Yes, that's what it says. And I don't think they're sold out yet, but you better get your dibs in quickly if you want to go to the Archives of Ontario for a full day without the hassle of the parking up there. And it's bad. In local news, the Uxbridge Genealogy Group gets the great pleasure of hearing me talk about overview of DNA on Thursday, April the 18th. And they've also sent a poster here. They're going to have a book sale Saturday, May 4th at the Uxbridge Library. And they are inviting you either as a buyer or seller or both. So if you've got a lot of genealogy books you want to clear off your shelves, give Uxbridge Genealogy Group at hotmail.com a line and say you want a table. We're going to be there. We got stuff. Not the front half, that shares stuff. The back half. There is a lot of books here.
We're not selling all those.
We aren't selling those ones. No. The Lakeshore Genealogical Group is hosting a family day down at the Coburg Public Library. It's in concert with Coburg Public Library, the Lakeshore Genealogical Society, and the Coburg and District Historical Society. So they're going to do help in the morning, and then at 1:30, they actually have a talk by Dr. Robert Pierce, who will be talking about the Rice Lake Trading Post established 1796 at the mouth of the Otonabee River. And I don't know if you can see the very small, no, I can't. Oh, there's the pencil. See if I can get right here. That's where you can contact this email to get the actual Zoom link if you're not going to be there in person. And here's one that just happened to show up in the e-weekly a little while ago, posted by someone called Sher Leetooze, the chair of the Cornish Society of Durham Region. And if you have any questions, you can talk to her after the talk.
I meant to bring flyers and registration forms and left them.
Oh dear.
Sorry.
She left the forms and the flyers. Darn.
Well, thank you for putting that up.
You're welcome.
May 31st to June 2nd
Yes.
at Bowmanville. If you have Cornish roots or would like to have, come out and take part. It's going to be a really good weekend.
Yes. Cornish roots, or if you just want to enjoy everything Cornish.
Especially the pasty supper Saturday night.
Pasty supper on Saturday night.
The pasties.
Yummy. I haven't found a good pasty over here.
Yes, the toasted walnut. That's who's making our pasties for us.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody near Bowmanville? You got to hit the toasted walnut.
Well, I don't know if they're making them for John Q. Public yet, but yes, we put them through stringent tests.
Okay. And you all know how much I love Legacy Family Tree webinars. Well, the 5th annual 24-hour genealogy webinar marathon is a week Thursday, Friday. It starts on the Thursday night at 5 p.m. Eastern time, just in case you're not in Eastern time. Goes right through to the end of Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. You'll get a wide variety of lectures of genealogy, DNA, and artificial intelligence. And you can go and register right on the website. There's a tiny little black banner at the very top, and if you're not careful, it disappears really quickly. I don't know why. If not, go to their blog, which is, you scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, you can go into the blog and go down to the article of March 25th. This graphic was taken right from the blog. And again, we announced this last month, the Nova Scotia Genealogy Virtual Conference registration's open. It's May 4th to 5th, $39 for members and $69 for non-members. So if you've got Nova Scotia roots, you might want to attend that one. And now that my mouth is quite dry, I'm going to get Sher up here. We'll just give us 2 or 3 minutes to switch over our PowerPoints.
Lovely.
Okay. Again, thank you, Sher. That was awesome. So, as usual, if you find our presenters and what we do at the branch useful, we invite you to make a donation. On the left side of our website, you'll find this particular logo, and you'll get an email right away with your tax receipt. Upcoming meetings, we have Beth Adams coming to talk to us about following the trails of the Betts Bibles. And so where it started was Beth and her mother being invited to one of the family homes in Pickering Township. And the lady who was there brought out an old family Bible. Inside it were typewritten pages transcribed from an older Bible. So she spent a lot of her last 20 years tracking down the older Bible in California. And that Bible takes them back to colonial Connecticut. So it's going to be a fun ride, I think. Beth actually is a member of Toronto branch, Ottawa branch, and Befisco. She's done talking at Befisco and some of the Ontario ancestor branches. She's on the education committee for the Durham, for Toronto branch, and she's a lifelong scouter. And I think you're going to find her very interesting. Also coming up in June, we have Jane McNamara, who is from Toronto, and we've had her many times. She's a very knowledgeable genealogist, and she's going to be talking about township records. The township records are a collection of stray pieces of paper at the Surveyor General's office way back. And they gathered them all up and sorted them by lot and concession and township and gave it all to the Archives of Ontario. They have been scanned and electrified. They are up on the Family Search website. They are not indexed. You have to know the lot and concession that you're working with. And township. There isn't a piece of paper for every lot in every township. But what you can find can be anything from tickets, location tickets, letters from your neighbors saying what a good guy you are and you deserve to have the land. Anything and everything can show up in there. Steve?
I'd just like to say, if you want an example, check out our fall newsletter on the Smith family.
Okay.
We found 2 Smith people and were able to connect them to their father thanks to those land records. There was no other records listing the father.
Okay, so that was our fall newsletter of 2023. If you remember. And Steve has a case study where land records helped find 2 Smiths and found the parents' names in those township papers. But you have to search them one by one or have to know the land to use them. And I believe there's a few branches. They've actually asked branches if they could take a hand at indexing these township papers. We haven't started that project yet. We're still trying to work on 2 or 3 other projects. So anybody who wants to try and index them, go right ahead. They're indexing them into Tony, the Ontario Name Index, which is a project we are working on. So if you need more information about Tony, let me know. Our DNA Special Interest Group is the 3rd Wednesday of the month. That's April 17th. It is, I send the link out to people on my private group, just because we're showing other people's names and DNA data when we demonstrate stuff. And, but if you contact me at either of those email addresses, I will add you to the group. Our social is April 25th. At 11 a.m. 4th Thursday. And you never know what we're going to end up talking about. We had a really good one this last one, all about our genealogy software and whether we liked it and what we found wrong with it and all that sort of stuff. This library and office that we're holding the meeting in right now, it's located at Northminster United Church on the 3rd floor, and the lift is broken. But it is, we are here Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 10 to 1. Occasionally the church secretary is not here, so we have to know you're coming to be at the front door to let you in. So by appointment only, contact Stephen Wood. And that's our contact information. I'm going to go, and now that I've made myself a co-host from the host computer, I can now load up the handout in the chat area, and then we'll close out the meeting.